lightning and the thunder.
But after all these years, I'm still scared of thunder.
It's time for Middays with Thunder with Mitch Nelles, broadcasting live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
Oh, you didn't know? You better call somebody. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. 1250 AM, 105.7 FM The Fan proudly brings to you Middays with Thunder. Yes, that's right. That's me, Mitch Thunder Nelles. This is not a test. This is rock and roll. We're here to rock it all over. I'd say Southeast Wisconsin, but it's not Southeast Wisconsin. It's not the state of Wisconsin. It's not the United States of America. It is worldwide for all Wisconsin sports fans. We are the fam on the fan. This is family. That's right. The can I call him a blowhard? The national blowhard, who's the Michigan fan, is no longer here. And every day we are here 11 to 2. But especially, you should know this. You should know this. Everyone should know this. That every day from noon to 2, we are the only sports radio program emanating from Milwaukee. We are here for you. We are it. For the fan of the Milwaukee sports teams, the Wisconsin sports teams, we are your home right here on 1250 AM, 105.7 FM The Fan, with me, Mitch Thunder Nelles, with the gentle giant, Charlie Usen. Say hi, Charlie.
Hey, how's it going?
And Charlie will be here. Some days Tommy will be here.
Some days.
Kmart master.
Master now.
Yeah, I feel like he's a Kmart master. I feel like he's,
right.
You go to Kmart every day, you become a Kmart master.
Yeah, that's true.
And he's kind of a Kmart every
Feels
day.
like he knows the aisles, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's like somebody's looking for something. He doesn't even work there. And he's like, oh, I'll tell you where it is.
Like he bought his own vest to go to work.
I like that. Yeah. There's actually a little thing online going on that like people are doing that at Walmart and like trying to scam people and like do like nefarious things. So do be careful who you talk to out there. When I worked at, so you don't remember this. Ready for another thing that I'm old and you don't remember this?
Let's hear it.
Kohl's food stores. Did you know that Kohl's had food stores?
I did not know
like
that,
you didn't even know they had food stores.
Just thought they were department stores.
That is unbelievable. Like you didn't even. So anytime you go by a food store that has a curved front, that means it used to be a Kohl's.
Oh, really?
So a bunch of Sendik's have those now. I think the Outpost, there's an Outpost or two that have them, and there's like other stores that aren't food stores anymore, but like that curved, like almost like a domed front. That was always it. So I worked at the Kohl's food store in Fox Point and in Bayside. And even when I wasn't working, like that's where I would go to shop because I lived in Glendale and that's where I would go. And I would help people all the time, like all the time. Somebody would be looking for something and I would go and help them. And I'd be like, oh yeah, because I knew where everything was in that store. I didn't do a ton of overnights, but I did do some stocking overnights. But just being there, like, for 2 years, being the utility clerk, I knew where, and I love Kohl's. So Kohl's Food. Anybody remember 414-677-1250? 414
200-year-olds. Yeah.
Yeah. 414-677-1250. I wonder when I'm gonna dial up my Google machine. We're gonna get some more Brewers talk. We got some Badgers talk as well. Let's see. When did the last Kohl's food store close? Does anybody else use their AI Google on a machine a while there? February 2003.
I was 2 years old, so I was alive when they existed.
Yeah. February 2003. Man, I remember. I don't remember that specifically, but that seems about right in terms of timing. This is Middays with Thunder here on the Fan. Thanks to Camille Davis for jumping on, talking some Packers. And I think before we move on, before we go back to Brewers or before we talk to Badgers, we do have to talk about the excitement of Micah Parsons and just how exciting that was. It was, I just gotten back from vacation and I was filling in for Steve Sparky Pfeiffer last week. And we were watching the Brewers game, right? It was Thursday afternoon. We're watching the Brewers game. They're down by 2 in the ninth. Yelich is up. And Charlie was like, you were like, dude, pay attention. I'm like, what are you talking? Like, I got my computer right here, although it's open to my text messages, not to Twitter. Maybe it should be open to Twitter. There. Now I have it on my homepage on Twitter. My phone's right here. So if I get any texts or emails, I should see it right away. And you're like, dude, breaking news. Mike, and I'm like, no. Like immediately I knew what you were going to say. And I found it, as you said, breaking news. I found it on my phone. I'm like, no, I don't believe it. And Mitch Rosen, who's our one of our leaders, he runs 670 The Score in Chicago. He texted me was breaking news. He didn't say what it was, right? Like he wanted to text it as quickly as possible. And of course, Sparky, who's supposed to be on vacation, is like, not only is Sparky like on top of the breaking news, but he's also on top of like, all right, so we need this video, we need this promo, we need this, and we need this, we need that. Like Sparky is so on top of things that like, I just want to say, Sparky, Charlie and Tommy got it. Don't trust Mitch because he's an idiot. But Tommy and Charlie are going to be good. They got it. You go do your vacation. I've seen Sparky twice today, and I still didn't ask him how it was. But like, so does he get to come back and go on vacation again because he was working his entire vacation?
No, I don't. I think he likes the work sometimes.
I know he does.
He likes the work sometimes.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. He definitely does. But it was just, I mean, what a crazy confluence of events. What a crazy Thursday afternoon, Thursday night, all day Friday as we lined up guest after guest after guest. And I forgot to ask Camille my question. Should we call her? Should we get her back on the show? My question is where were you? Like, remember, I've asked a bunch of people that on Friday, and that's been the question I love asking. I still love asking. And if you want to answer that, you can do that on the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text line, 414-677-1250, 414-677-1250. You can also do that on our YouTube channel, at The Fan Milwaukee. You can do that on our Facebook. You can do that on my Facebook, Thunder MKE. You can do it on our Facebook, The Fan Milwaukee. However you want to communicate that. You know, I still am fascinated by the where were you? Where were you when you heard the news about Micah Parsons? Like, did you hear from a friend? Did you hear from a text message? Were you at, you know who I haven't talked to? Charlie, I haven't talked to somebody who was at the Brewers game. Like, I kind of want to talk to somebody because Yelich wasn't quite, like, I don't think Yelich was up yet. It was kind of in between at bats. And so there was a downtime. And then Yelich's at bat was 4 or 5 pitches. So there was some buzz. I assume there was buzz in the crowd during a Thursday day game between the Brewers and the Diamondbacks. And I haven't talked to anybody who was at the game. So if anybody was at the game, or if you know somebody who was at the game, 414-677-1250, 414-677-1250. I would love to hear that story, or you can text it in. What was it like at the game? Was there a buzz? Were people into it? Because it's still like, as Camille's telling us, and I'm sure it's all over Twitter, it's picture day. So we've got, 0 Matthew Golden. We've got 1 Micah Parsons. We've got 10 Jordan Love. We've got all the pictures of our guys. And I'm just, I wonder what they look like. And I just wonder, it's still that befuddling's not just like an amazing situation, but like not the way we usually use amazing and say, oh, that's amazing. Like, that's great. Like, amazing in that we are filled with awe and amazement that Micah Parsons. All right, we get to the preseason, the offseason starts, and Myles Garrett demands a trade. And we all went nuts, right? Mason Crosby Show with Scott Sports Daily. All right, how do we get Myles Garrett? How do we get Myles Garrett to the Packers? Like, how amazing would that be? Myles Garrett to the Packers. Myles Garrett. All right. And we're playing fantasy football at that point. Like, we're playing funny games. And Cleveland's a mess. And who knows if he, and then they pay him, they make him the highest paid player, and he says he goes back. Trey Hendrickson demands a trade. Oh, well, Trey Hendrickson, we got Jair Alexander. Let's just trade Jair for, remember we were talking about that, Charlie? Jair Alexander, straight up.
Easy, yeah.
I mean, done. Like, how easy is this? Jair Alexander for Trey Hendrickson, done. Pay Trey, an extra $10, $14 million, whatever. He ended up getting paid the 14, whatever. He's older, so he's not going to, he wants more money, but you don't have to go crazy for him. we're getting rid of Jair anyway. Oh, maybe we're keeping Jair, so maybe we shouldn't trade Jair for Hendricks. Henderson still holds in at Bengals camp. Oh, maybe there's a last second chance they could get traded. Nope, Hendrickson stays. Then there was a minute, right? TJ Watt, not happy in Pittsburgh. I don't know what's in the water in the AFC North. I'm waiting for the Ravens. The Ravens need to have somebody hold out now. But TJ Watt for a minute was not happy. TJ Watt was like, well, if these guys are holding out, I'm better than these guys. I got more sacks than these guys. Like, pay me. And it never got as, maybe this is a statement on the Browns and Bengals versus the Steelers. Like, it seemed like it never got as angry with the Steelers. I don't know what's up with Cam Hayward. Is he still holding in? Is he there?
He's there as far as I know in his practice.
Yeah. And he had a minute. There weren't any trade rumors with him, but and there weren't rumors with TJ Watt, but it was still like, hey, well, he's TJ Watt. We should go get him. Like, we tried to bring JJ Watt home. He decided to retire. It's fine. Let's go. We should have drafted TJ Watt. We should have had TJ Watt all along. The organization screwed that one up. Well, let's go get TJ Watt. And that didn't happen. And then he stayed. And then Micah Parsons happened. And of course, and then we start saying, all right, well, we got rid of Jair. And now there's we're $35 million under the cap. So the money actually does work out where for probably 20 of 31 NFL teams, the money doesn't work out to go get Micah Parsons. There's probably realistically 10 teams that are involved in this conversation with the Cowboys. No. Come on. This is not. And then we get all these art. This is how the sausage is really made. That a trade, the trade's not going to happen until next week. Actually, this current week, if anything could happen. And then Thursday afternoon at 4:00. Breaking news. Micah Parsons to the Green Bay Packers. Part of me doesn't really appreciate what this means. And I don't know that any of us will appreciate what it really means until we see it on the field. Like we see him and Edgerrin Cooper both lined up at linebacker, both over the center, the other team having no idea who's coming. And on some plays, they both come. And on some plays, one comes. And on some plays, neither comes. And they both drop into coverage. And Rashawn Gary gets the sack. Or LVN gets the sack. Or it's a running play and Devontae Wyatt just eats dude up. However that works out. I don't think we can truly appreciate what this is going to look like until we actually see it. And I don't know how much we'll see it on Sunday. We talked about that with Camille, and we've seen that from the reports about what the back situation is. I copied Adam Schefter's Twitter, and he said, Packers linebacker Micah Parsons has been dealing with an L4, L5 facet. I've also heard facet. I don't think it's French.
I've heard it said facet.
Yeah, it said facet joint sprain in his back, and he may take an epidural injection prior to Sunday's game versus the Lions if needed to help him play, per sources. Before trading Parsons last week, the Cowboys prescribed him a 5-day plan of an anti-inflammatory corticosteroid, a prednisone, which is a legal steroid, to help him recover from back tightness. They also had him on a physical therapy program. Parsons has been practicing this week, and he's trying to play in Sunday's opener versus the Lions, though one source said it still is uncertain if he will. Well, Adam, I think we'd all be surprised if he doesn't play. I think we would also not be surprised if in some form he's limited. That he's limited, that he's not a full-time player this Sunday, especially with the game Sunday and then a game Thursday, to keep him active for both games, play between 20 and 30 snaps on Sunday. And so then he can play between 20 and 30 snaps on Thursday and then get a 10-day rest until week 3. Does that sound about right, Charlie?
Yeah, I guess so. But also,
what, you want him out there?
I want him out there the whole game. If he's here, if he's supposed to be one of the
greedy.
best. I think when you trade for a player of this caliber, and I understand you want to give him a little bit of time to get ready, get into this defense, get set, let him get healthy if he's not healthy at this point. But I know people have been watching the practice today and yesterday and said that he was doing movements and playing with such a pace that normally wouldn't be possible with somebody with this type of back injury.
Okay.
And that he's moving better and recovering better than a lot of people had expected to based on what they've heard about what this injury is.
I like that.
And I think when you go across the NFL and you hear guys like Baker Mayfield be able to go into the Panthers offense after 1 week of being there and carry that team to a victory that's not very good, I think Micah Parsons shouldn't need that much time to get into the playbook and understand this Packers defense. And I also think that based on what we're seeing and hearing from his agent, from other people that are watching the practices, is that the injury may not be as bad as we think it is. And if that's the case, and he wants to be able to go out there and play, then you go out there and let him play.
I agree with that to an extent, but you also know that people get, bumps and bruises, and playing hurt, not playing with an injury is commonplace in the world of football.
Coaches tell you if you're hurt, not injured, you're out on the field.
Yeah, and I think that's what Micah Parsons will be, and he'll probably be that way all season. But you also need to make sure that not just September 7th against the Detroit Lions, but also, also November 27th at the Lions, also December 20th at the Bears, January 3rd or 4th at the Vikings, that he is available those games as well. And it's not worth risking his health on September 7th if you're risking his health for November, December, and January. And that's why I think you play. Like, I'm not saying, oh, you hold him out because he has no. I mean, I'd be shocked if he didn't play. But I think they're going to use him as a pass rushing specialist, especially his first 2 games. That might change. I don't want to speak ill of I do want to. I love speaking of the Cleveland Browns. The Cleveland Browns are terrible and despicable and awful. Not only do the Packers have those first 2 games in 4 days, Sunday against the Lions, at least they're still home, Washington Thursday night, but then they have the long break till the following Sunday at the Browns. And hopefully the Browns is another game where, if you can get a lead, maybe he doesn't play the fourth quarter, like that sort of thing. Because you want him the next Sunday, right? Sunday night in Dallas. You
need him.
You want peak prime Micah Parsons for that game. 414-677-1250, 414-677-1250 is the phone number. We're going to get into some college football when we come back. Wisconsin Badgers, Billy Edwards updates. Listen, it's Middle Tennessee State. So it's game week for the Badgers too, but they were 17.5-point favorites last week. They won by 17. Nothing impressive really happened. They are 28.5-point favorites this week. And that doesn't I'll be honest, with all due respect to Middle Tennessee State, my juices aren't going for this one. I do like that it's a 3:00 game on Saturday as opposed to an 8 p.m. Thursday night game. That did not do well for my fatigue from my travels from last week as I was trying to recover from an all-nighter red eye and then have to stay up all night Thursday night watching listen, the Badgers won, so what are you going to say? But
I guess, but your debacle at the airport sounded more entertaining than the Badgers football game that happened.
It was. That's another thing. All right, so, we've all seen these videos go viral, right? Karen's behaving badly on a plane, right? And arrested. Don't you want to find out what happened?
A little bit, yeah.
I think that, that's the thing. I saw this, and maybe it's because I saw this guy. I saw this guy at the gate. Or I saw this guy at the check-in counter. Then I saw this guy at the gate. Then I saw this guy on the plane. I want to know what happened. And we looked up SFO security, and you do have to go to the local, it's all through the local law enforcement agency. I don't know if they're in San Francisco proper or in South San Francisco or where the airport really is. I'm not really going to make an open records request to find out what happened with this guy. But I am curious, what happened with this dude on the plane from last Monday night, that red eye from San Francisco to O'Hare that got in 2.5 hours late because we had to turn around half an hour into the flight. This is Middays with Thunder. Brand new program announcement. Middays with Thunder. I am here with you. My name's Mitch Nelles. I live in southeastern Wisconsin. Many of you live in southeastern Wisconsin. Most of you live in Wisconsin. Many of you live in the United States. Some of you live in other countries, but we are all family because we are all fans in this together of our Packers, our Brewers, our Bucks, our Badgers, our Golden Eagles, our Panthers, our Phoenix, our Admirals, our Wave, our Turret, our Forward, our who else? Who am I? Our Chinooks,
That's everybody
and
I know.
Dockhounds and Kingfish and Mallards and that's pretty much. I'm sure I'm
I think
missing
you got
somebody.
most of the bases covered.
I think I got most of them covered, but I'm sure I'm missing somebody, and I apologize if I am. And if I am, please let me know. 414-677-1250. Shoot me a text. Shoot me an email. Shoot me. Do people email anymore? Like that used to be a big deal.
I think so.
Do they? Because that used to be
more like work focused. I don't know
Right.
if people just email for fun anymore.
Like that used to be a big deal on the radio. Like I don't have thunder at odyssey.com or thunder at 12. I don't even know what it would be. Thunder at thefanmilwaukee.com. Like, should I get thunder at thefanmilwaukee.com?
If you want to.
Who would do that? Like, I mean,
You'd be the only one, yeah.
I know, but like then people could email. Like, I don't know if people email into shows anymore because now that everybody can like text or social media in, I feel like they're less likely. Man, people used to email me the weirdest stuff from their work emails, like just like F-bombs and all sorts of stuff, crazy stuff from their work email. Where it's like, dude, like I know where you work. What's wrong with you? Crazy. Man, Charlie, this whole industry used to be the wild, wild west.
I believe it still kind of is.
Well, and now with AI and YouTube and all that, it definitely still is. This is Middays with Thunder, some college football talk coming up next here on 1250 AM, 105.7 FM, The Fan. Our studios are powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. This is Middays with Thunder. You know what's tough, Charlie? We're on 1250 AM 1057 FM, The Fan, free on the Odyssey app. It's like when you have stuff set up in life, like you're just trying to get stuff done, and then like all of a sudden you have a live radio show. And it's like, well, I had this appointment set for today. Actually getting a new a cable, not a cable line, but like a new Ethernet line run from our router down to my office in the basement, so that maybe I can start doing some of these shows from home if I need to, because right now it's just Wi-Fi, and like the Wi-Fi is good in the basement, but I wouldn't trust it to do a show. Right. But if I can plug the Ethernet cord into my laptop, we feel a lot better about the internet then, right?
It would be nice.
Yeah, it would be nice. So I have this set up with, I won't mention the company because they're not a sponsor yet. When they do, I will give them lots of shout outs. But I had this appointment like on the books. And then all this happened with, the national dude who likes Michigan, and, thank goodness we're local now, because local is better. Like, can we all just raise our hands and agree that local radio is better than, there are some national radio shows that are good. And when they emanate from Milwaukee, like, they're good. Like, Bart, we love you. Like, we love that you do a national show, but you're based in Milwaukee. Like, and you are always fighting for, like you're always sticking up for Milwaukee. And I think that's great. But, so we had appointments on the books, and then we're on vacation. So like, we kind of forget about it. And then it's a Labor Day weekend, so we kind of forget about it. And then you get a call like, oh yeah, I'm on the way. And I'm like, ooh, yeah. Hopefully Mrs. Thunder's available. I can't remember if she had a meeting at noon or at 1. I feel like it was at 1, hopefully. Hopefully she's not in the middle of a meeting that she can't get out of. Because otherwise, the electrician guys, they're kind of sitting out there, and we'll see if I can multitask while I'm on there. No, I'm just kidding. I'm going to put my phone down, and I'm going to focus on this show, Middays with Thunder, on The Fan, where we are all family. Remember, you can get on YouTube at The Fan Milwaukee. Jump on right now. Programming alert, 11 to 2, Middays with Thunder, right here on The Fan. And we want you to be a part of the action. We want you to jump in and absolutely be a part of what we have going on. I keep hitting reload. I feel like week 2 college football official AP rankings are out. This is what I was waiting for. Week 2. No, like it says week 2, but none of the records are updated. I don't think these are updated.
I don't think it's updated.
No,
yet. Nope.
but it says, so it said preseason, and now you can actually click on week 2. Oh, there it is. The coaches poll is out. Nope, that's FCS. Oh, the FCS coaches poll. North Dakota State's number 1. South Dakota State's number 2. That's really interesting. I have a feeling they're coming out like any minute, so we will get to the polls. But our Wisconsin Badgers, with a win,
2 p.m. Eastern time.
2 p.m.
So
Eastern.
1 p.m.
Oh, yeah. So like in 25 minutes. So maybe we will suspend this this conversation into the 1 o'clock hour after Jared Fialco. But we do have an update on Billy Edwards Jr. Luke Fickell had his press conference. I don't know, did he have it today or yesterday? Because it's usually on Mondays. But I think with Labor Day, they did it today. So it was like an hour ago. The MRI from his originally from his eliminated the worst fears. So he is not out for the year, but he has been ruled out for week 2. Billy Edwards Jr., he is the starting quarterback on Wisconsin's depth chart, but he will not be playing week 2. So Danny O'Neill, who played pretty well, like he played okay. I wouldn't say he played great, but he played okay. Hunter Simmons is the backup. Luke Fickell says, I don't believe that Billy will be playing. He didn't practice. So Danny will be who we go with. So while Billy Edwards Jr. is not out for the year, and again, I don't know if this is the team also just being a little cautious with Billy Edwards Jr. as they are a 28.5 point favorite against Middle Tennessee State. And again, it's like, but let's see that I assume, they're fair by 20.5. You don't need to play Billy Edwards Jr. in this one.
No, I think you're okay.
Yeah, you're okay in this one, right? Like that's you're just fine. You should be able to go with the new kid and with Daniel O'Neal, who passed for 120 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, and be just fine. So that's our Badger football update. We are waiting till 1:00 till we get the polls. Obviously, Ohio State will be number 1. The question is, will Penn State be number 2? Will LSU jump up to number 2? I think that's the big question in the AP polls. And then we'll get into that conversation of Big Ten versus SEC that we get into every year. And that's just kind of how those things go. But I do want to get back to some of the conversation we'd been having earlier today about our Milwaukee Brewers. The Brewers are off today. Kind of a weird Phillies in town. I want to know, part of me wants, I want to know what the Phillies are doing today. If you remember, Charlie, if not Bryce Harper and not Kyle Schwarber, but if Jason Marsh, whose beard is bigger than yours, dude is a dirt bag of epic proportion. And maybe that's a term of endearment. If Jason Marsh came to you, it was like, yo, Charlie, I'm cool, you're cool. He's probably like 25. You're almost 25. You're 16.
23.
Whatever. What should I do today in Milwaukee? What are you telling dude to do today in Milwaukee on a random off day in the middle of a series?
I mean, we got all the greatest breweries in all of the country here. Yep. Go take some brewery tours in independent breweries, the big breweries. You could go do that. That's always fun to do. The lakefront's right there. They got like boring rivers and the ocean over on the East Coast. Nobody cares about that. We got the Lake Michigan right there. Go walk on the lakefront. Go to the art museum. It's famous. Yep. You know, the building of it.
Brandon Marsh, by the way, not Jason Marsh. Brandon Marsh. He's 27.
Discovery World. I love Discovery World.
Discovery World.
That's something I would
go to Discovery World. If I were the Phillies, I don't know if you rent it out, but Lakefront Brewery, I feel like is one of those spots I'd go. I feel like I don't know if Philly knows Sprecher. Like Sprecher Sprecher is known in other parts of the country, especially for their root beer. But other parts don't know it at all. And if it's somewhere you know about Sprecher, then I feel like the Sprecher Brewery tour could also be a good one. It's a little bit smaller, but then you get lots of free samples, kind of like Lakefront. Obviously, I don't know how often do we still call it Miller Coors? Like it's still like the Miller Valley. Like I know it's Coors now, but they probably still have their tour, right? Like I assume
you would think so.
I assume you can still go into the caves.
You would think so.
Right?
Yeah, you kind of have to.
Yeah. All right. So that's a good call. So random weird day in the middle of a series. The Milwaukee Brewers currently sit in first place in all of baseball. But after yesterday, it got a little bit tighter. If you look at the overall standings, they are in first place over the second place Philadelphia Phillies. The Phillies have the second best record in Major League Baseball now. They are 4.5 behind the Brewers, 4 back in the loss column. Then you've got the Tigers and the Blue Jays at 5 and 5.5. Then the Cubs are also 5.5 behind the Milwaukee Brewers, 5 back in the loss column. It's September 2nd. The Brewers have played 139 games. So they only have 23 games left. 33? No, 23. They played 139. They've got 23 games left. If the Brewers go, let's see. If the Brewers go 11 and 12, I'm going to do quick math here. Charlie, I know that you're young and you only did math on calculators. You don't know how to do it by hand.
No, I don't.
But I'm going to do it by hand. If the Brewers go 11 and 12, they will win 96 games. So if they go 11 and 12, obviously we hope the Brewers go better than 11 and 12 the rest of the way, right? But if the Brewers go 11 and 12 the rest of the way, the Chicago Cubs, to get to 96 games, have to go 17 and 7.
That's doable.
That's doable. It's not easy though.
No, it's not.
To go 17 and 7 is hard, and for the Brewers to only go 11 and 12 is hard.
Right.
Having the best record in Major League Baseball, the only team over a 600 winning percentage at 612. So if the Brewers go, let's say they go 14-9, that seems like a reasonable record, right? Brewers go 14-9. It'd be heartbreaking because they'd get to 99 wins, and we all want the Brewers to get to 100, right? But if they got to 99 wins, if they go 14-19, the Cubs would have to go 20-4.
That's a little more undoable.
Right. So what I would say to the Brewers is you don't need another 14-game winning streak. Don't put so much pressure on every single game, but set your team up to win baseball games. And I don't know, I don't know that we've gotten a report back on Shelby Miller. I've got to assume he's out for the year, and probably that could be a career-ending injury. You feel a pop in your elbow at that age. I don't know if Shelby Miller, I can't imagine. I assume he's out.
Yeah, there's no news yet, any update on his injury. But again, like you said, when you hear a pop in the elbow, this is a guy that already had injury concerns coming in as well when the Brewers traded for him. That was kind of the big stuff that Arizona was just trading all these guys that were injured, that all had concerns about them. I think this is something that you kind of had to expect when you made this trade. It's a good thing they are so loaded with other pitchers, especially guys coming back like Robert Gasser, that you get a little lucky there. But you hate to see an injury like this happen to a guy like Shelby Miller, who really didn't get that much of an opportunity.
He did not. And I know yesterday it went, because he was hurt and the inherited runner scored, his numbers with the Brewers are going to look even worse. He was not great with the Brewers. He did not, but there were some times where he did provide some good performances out of the bullpen. His final numbers with the Brewers are going to be, with a 5.5, 11 games, a 5.59 ERA, not good. Got worse yesterday. But I think that he was being counted on as an arm out of the bullpen. And with Trevor McGill out, and hopefully he'll be back when he's eligible to come back, with Grant Anderson out, with DL Hall out, you're counting a lot on Nick Mears. You're counting a lot on Jared Koenig. You're counting a lot on Rob Zastryzny, who just came back. Obviously, Abner Uribe, Aaron Ashby. The question is, when DL Hall comes, not when Robert Gasser comes back, is he going to jump right into it? When will he be activated on this team? Because they need some arms right now. And today specifically could not have come at a better time for this Brewers bullpen. Again, as we look at those standings, they just need to finish over the next 23 games. They need to finish 5 games better than the Cubs. So you go 14-9, the Cubs have to go 20-4. You go 11-12, the Cubs have to go 17-7. Can the Cubs go 17-7? 1,000%. Of course they can. Could the Brewers only go 11-12? Yes, they can. But if the Brewers put themselves in a position, and what I'm going to say about that is, yes, you want to win every game. And yes, when you're winning 5-1 after 4 innings, should you win that game? Yes, you should win that game. But sometimes when things go sideways, I don't know that you want to use all your best pitchers in one game. Yes, it helps that there's a day off today. Absolutely, it helps that there's a day off today. But Pat Murphy, over the next 23 games, is going to have to be very careful. And I think he's going to look at some of what we talked about in the first hour, some of that Jacob Mizorowski situation. Is there a real situation where the 5th inning just dooms him? And so do you just let him pitch 4? And then do you pair him up with Ashby or Gasser or DL Hall when he comes back, if Hall comes back, and see how that matches up with he could go 4 and then somebody else could go 2 and then you get into the bullpen. Or he goes 4, someone goes 3, then you get into the bullpen. But you can't roll Uribe out there every day. You can't roll Koenig out there every day. You can't roll Mears out there every day. And it seems right now that more often than not, those guys are being rolled out there almost every day. Abner Uribe has pitched in 66 games, Koenig 63, Mears 59, Grant Anderson, who was being pitched all the time before he's on the injured list right now. He was at he's at 57 games. You look at the overall let's see. I want to see the overall major league stats for games pitched this year. And you look at the complete leaders in games. Let's see, games pitched. I not. Yeah, I can't. Oh, ESPN, you're absolutely killing me. I cannot sort by games pitched. I can sort by games started. All right, I'm gonna have to go to Baseball Reference during the break. I'll do that. But I'm imploring Pat Murphy. I'm imploring Pat Murphy to just be smart with your bullpen these next 23 games. To be smart, yes, be smart with your starters. Tomorrow night we got Jose Quintana on the mound, and then Thursday during the day it's I believe it's Quinn Priester. Oh no, it's Freddie. Freddie's pitching on Thursday. Quintana's pitching tomorrow night. Hopefully they can go 6. Hopefully they can get you the innings you need. But you got to be careful with this bullpen. You can't get into a situation where we saw with those 2 Arizona games, where we saw Sunday with Toronto, where we saw yesterday with Philly, where the bullpen's just put in places where there's too much pressure. There are too many inherited runners. There's too little margin for error game after game after game. It might be worth letting a game go if it means you set yourself up for the next 3 to really succeed.
Uribe has 66 games pitched this season. He's tied for 4th in the entire MLB with that. That's behind Tyler Rogers of the Mets, Tony Santillan in Cincinnati, Scott Barlow in Cincinnati, Brendan Little in Toronto. Go down the list a little bit. Jared Koenig is tied for 11th with the most games pitched with 63.
Yep. So and Uribe's role has expanded with McGill out. When McGill comes back, obviously that's going to help everybody. But I just, my message to Murph, because I know Murph, it's an off day, so I know Murph's listening. It's just, I don't have to tell you how to do your job. You're a grown man. Like, you know how to do your job, but I'm just reminding you that, it's important to manage that bullpen in a responsible way. My name is Mitch Nelles, aka Thunder. You're listening to Middays with Thunder here on The Fan. Brand new programming, the only programming originating from Milwaukee every day, noon to 2. The only sports programming. So it's the only sports program you need to be listening to from noon to 2. We'll be right back right here on The Fan. This is Middays with Thunder. I got to turn the camera. I saw it. I got you, Charlie.
We gotta get you to learn how to, like, we gotta train you to check it before. I think.
No, I don't want to. That's
it's more fun to spin it every time.
I think that's part of Middays with Thunder. Is that
All
like,
right.
where's the camera?
Where's it pointing now?
Yeah. Why did it follow Mitch out of the room? But then when he came back in the room, it didn't follow him.
You were too fast coming back. That was the problem.
That has never been said about me in the world of athleticism ever on earth. I'm good at certain sports, and I do possess a certain amount of quickness, but actual speed, has never been anything that's said about me.
Well, you know what? There's a first for everything, Mitch. I've heard you're a savant on the softball field. So
I would say I'm quick on the softball field. I'm faster around the bases than a lot of people are because I actually understand the angles.
Oh, you got like the Christian Yelich like IQ on the base path?
Yes.
Okay. I like it.
But other people, but if you're faster than me, you're just faster than me. like I'm not competing with that. And at my age, I'm certainly not competing with that. But in terms of either hitting the bases or when I'm in the field, like reading the ball off the bat, now it's softball, baseball in high school. Like I've always been like, I know when I see the pitch coming, and based on the bat, I know where the ball's going.
All right.
So I got that going.
See, you are an athlete. You are a pretty good athlete.
I'm an okay athlete.
So maybe you were too fast coming back in. See, you can't deny it now.
0%. Jared Fialco, WSISN Channel 12, is going to join us in just a few minutes. Before we get to him, David is it Mulugeta?
I think it's just Mulgeta.
Even though there is a U there. Okay.
That's the only way I've heard it. But
David Mulgeta was on First Take today.
He was.
Yep. And he said that Micah Parsons never planned to sit out. He would have played for the Cowboys if he had not been traded to the Packers, and that he never told the Cowboys that he would not play. His first choice was to remain in Dallas. I think the most important thing is Micah wanted to be a Cowboy. He grew up cheering for the Cowboys, wore the blue and white in Penn State, wore it in the NFL with the Cowboys. He wanted to be a Cowboy, and we did everything we could for him to remain to be a Cowboy. To expect somebody like Micah Parsons to be one of the best defenders in the NFL and also a great lawyer when it comes to contracts, I think it's a bit unfair. His job is to go out there and chase quarterbacks, and our job is to go out there and chase commas for him. Man, Charlie, man, 2 commas. I got 1 comma, right?
Let's hear it.
No, in the bank, I got 1 comma.
Okay.
Man, 2 commas would be nice.
That would be nice.
2 commas would be nice.
I barely got 1 comma.
I know. Although I would say, like, I don't know that being a millionaire is what it was 30, 40 years ago. Like, if you had $1 million, that would change your life. But that's not generational wealth. Like, that's not I can retire at 23 and be done for the rest of my life type of money. It's good money. It's a great foundation. You could buy a car, you could buy a house, you could do a lot of things with $1 million. But it's not like it was in 1984 or 1954 here in 2025. Still a lot of money. I'd still wouldn't mind another comma.
And I think it depends how you use that money. I think there's way more avenues to kind of invest your money nowadays than there was then. So you can turn that into generational wealth, which I think a lot of these NFL players, these athletes do. Bitcoin. Yeah, they do that all the time, man. They're putting their names out there in that type of way. And I think that's how you turn it into more generational wealth.
I'm not sure exactly why it went this way, but we were always prepared and open to negotiating a contract with the Jones family. There's a power dynamic that's a little different there. One guy's the owner and the GM. It just kind of a weird. And listen, we all know this, right? This is a weird situation. I'm sure Stephen Jones or Jerry Jones will go on. You know, Jerry will do his weekly hit in Dallas and talk about how this isn't how it went and this is not true. And you know what? None of it matters because Micah Parsons is a Green Bay Packer. Yeah, that's what I said. None of this matters because Micah Parsons is a Green Bay Packer. So I think Mulgeta is doing a good job for Parsons, but a better job for the rest of his clients when he goes on First Take and talks about how he defends his clients and he's there for them and he's doing what he's supposed to be doing. Like that's what David Mulgeta should be doing. He is doing his due diligence for his clients. That's fine. That's all good. That's what he did. We all know the Joneses are a joke. Jerry's a joke. Steven's a joke. The whole organization at this point is a joke. I hope they go 0-17. Nope. I hope they go 2-15. I hope they beat the Eagles twice. Wow, what if they went 2-15 and beat the Eagles twice?
That'd be pretty crazy.
That'd be good.
I feel like
Dude,
you got to have an agenda if that happens.
I agree. If the Cowboys beat Philly Thursday night, like, I'll be honest, as a Packers fan, that would be, I'm all in on the Cowboys Thursday night. I don't like the Cowboys at all. Like, I want them to go 0-17. But if they're going to win, they might as well beat a team that helps the Packers.
Well, and honestly, even without Micah Parsons, the Cowboys' offense is still pretty loaded. They still have a good quarterback in Dak Prescott. People I know don't like to talk about Dak Prescott very nicely.
But you said good.
He's a good quarterback.
Yes, he is. He is a good quarterback.
A superstar wide receiver in CeeDee Lamb, and then a good wide receiver in George Pickens.
I'm with you so far. Yep.
They have a solid offensive line. It's not what it used to be. You have a lot of those guys retiring, but you're still rotating a pretty solid group of guys, young players that are going to be getting an opportunity. Just about how that defense responds. You know, if I were anybody watching the Dallas Cowboys, caring about the Dallas Cowboys, if you're a fantasy player, go and get a Dak Prescott because they're going to have a lot of opportunities on offense this season. And I think they may make things exciting that way, even without a Mike on defense.
I think you're right. I think the Cowboys know they're going to need to score a lot of points. It's going to be through the air. I think Dak is not a bad guy, and he's probably a pretty good guy to have in fantasy as well. I actually have a fantasy expert that we're going to try to lock in later on in the week, and maybe we'll do that once, we'll do that every week, but certainly we'll do that this week. But it is basically the top of the hour. So Jared Fialko from our ABC affiliate, Channel 12 here in Milwaukee, he covers the Packers, he covers the Badgers, he covers the Brewers, he covers the Bucks, he covers all of our teams. He's going to join us next right here on 1250 AM, 105.7 FM, The Fan, free on the Odyssey app, free on the iHeart app, free on YouTube. That's right. On YouTube at The Fan Milwaukee. Jump into the bullpen. Get into the YouTube channel as well. My name's Mitch Nelles, a.k.a. Thunder. This is Middays with Thunder.